The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to Propaganda, the show that is brought to you by Levi Solicitors. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. 10% discount on your legal fees. That's up to 15% on conveyancing instructions at the minute for January 2022. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Usual three of us here. I'm Dan. This is Michael. And that is Moscow White over there at that side of the room. Part two of Propaganda then. This is where we find out what the West Ham fans thought of the game on Sunday afternoon, and these are the ones we can really look forward to and we can enjoy putting together because we won and they're upset and it's not us being upset for once.
Exactly. We'll start on something sensible. Hammer's chat. This is the Scottish Cockney bloke that we heard from last week. He's giving a bit of actual analysis of the game, which I think is quite fair.
But Lanzini's centre midfield with Rice today was just wrong from the start. We struggled in midfield, and we're lucky Forshaw went off injured because he only played 15 minutes. He was best midfielder on the pitch while he was there. He was running around chasing everything. Whenever Lanzini got the ball, he was right behind him. Didn't let him play football at all. And we're lucky that injury took place.
His accent, I didn't hear a word of what he said. His accent, it fascinates me.
It's sort of like that. It's kind of from the back of the throat about as well.
A little bit of Scottish. It almost sounded like he slipped into Yorkshire at one point.
I noticed, I was looking at Steve Nicol clips, and I noticed Shaka Hislop sounds Welsh, which is weird. If you're going on weirdly blurred accents, he just occasionally just drifts into Welsh. But anyway, this guy's also pointing out that, as Moscow was just over on the other show, saying what a moaning twat Moyes is.
Moyes has to take a large part of the blame for today because Bielsa sort of prepared for this game in advance. In the FA Cup game, he didn't play certain players. And now, if you want to take the FA Cup seriously, that's fine. But then you've got to make sure you have the squad. If you're going to take the FA Cup seriously as a manager, that's fine. But you've got to make sure you're going to pick up the points in the Premier League as well. And if we're going to use fatigue as an excuse today, which I think is plausible, then we'll do something about it.
Exactly.
Can't argue with it, can you? I do not understand why, given the emphasis on the Premier League, David Moyes didn't rest some of his key players, knowing that they were going to be tired against us for this game.
Well, because he wanted to win in the FA Cup, but then he wanted to win this one too, and he wanted to beat Norwich, and so.
I want never gets. That's what you say, David Moyes. And I wrote longer on this in my match report, so that's probably the easiest place to get it if you're interested. But it is weird how little faith West Ham, Arsenal, other clubs have in their under-23s, whereas the whole point of, and I think it gets underplayed a little bit about us sticking these kids in, is that we're not, going from school to school with a bus, just getting anybody who looks reasonably like fit enough to kick a ball and rounding them up. Part of the whole idea of the small squad and the under-23s will augment it is that all those kids in the under-23s are ready. And Steve Nicol, of all people, was making this point on ESPN. It's like the most sensible thing I've ever heard him say, where he was like, you've got to give credit to Leeds and credit for Bielsa for the way that all the young players who've come into the team to help us know exactly what to do. They all know how we play, which is a really complicated way of playing in some ways. I also think it's bizarrely simple. It's a funny thing with Bielsa's world. But they all know what they're doing. They all know how to play. They're all ready to step into a Premier League team and not have a problem. We were saying it on the match ball when the way that nobody really flinched when Forshaw and Firpo went off and Yelder
I flinched.
Well, but on the pitch where it mattered, like you flinching here only disturbed me. It was horrible. It was like jolts of electricity. Bad electricity, though. Not that I couldn't have powered
not the fun kind.
I couldn't
not
have,
sexy electricity.
I couldn't have powered a bulb off you. But the team just went right. Bait and Yelder, Premier League debuts, fine, crack on. You know what you're doing. We know what you're doing, and everything's fine. Whereas West Ham and Arsenal, who have West Ham are top of the league. Arsenal have got this incredible academy that produces England internationals. What's wrong with your under-23s that you can't use any of them?
Don't trust them, do they?
Exactly. It's down to trust, and it's where it fits with all the way across with Bielsa's idea of the reason Plan A is so strong is because we believe in it, and the reason we don't have a Plan B is because that will weaken our belief in Plan A. We trust anybody. Archie Gray, if he is needed on the pitch, they'll trust him, and it's not about we're desperately throwing kids in all the time. It's we've got Archie Gray ready to the point that a 15-year-old is a better option for the Premier League than some 21-year-old that Arsenal probably paid 30 million for and don't want to even look at him on a football pitch. So me and Steve Nicol over here
Two things on this. First of all, it occurred to me over the weekend, or was it yesterday, that Archie Gray sat on the bench next to Rodrigo, who's twice his age. I enjoyed the symmetry of that, like the pattern thing.
It is a weird generation gap. I don't want to, say too much, but young people are strange from an older perspective. So even those dynamics within the squad, that you do have him sitting there like a 31-year-old with a 15-year-old, what will he talk about? So
it's very true. I mean, just to draw parallels with that, I don't know if you've seen the TV series Euphoria, which is kind of, if you saw Skins around, I think it was like the turn of the millennium, it was like quite edgy, wasn't it? It was Skins on Channel 4, teenagers getting up to no good. Euphoria, it's on Sky Atlantic, I think. It's an HBO show, and it's very, very up-to-date, modern kind of, it's not a teen drama in the sense that it's aimed at teens. It's just focused on a bunch of absolutely wild teens, and it's terrifying. And you observe it through slightly older eyes going, were we that wild as teenagers?
I mean, Moscow's come dressed as one, which is nice.
When was Archie Gray's date of birth?
They mentioned this actually in the Sky build-up, come to think of it.
He does he even have a Wikipedia page?
He was, yeah, he does. It actually says he was born in 1877, which that's a different.
That's probably a different one. Sounds like a Victorian architect.
He played for Woolwich Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
But they are being confused on the old.
And the Woolwich Arsenal still didn't trust their under 23s back then, did they?
He was born on March the 12th, 2006. Right, so he was. I was just looking up because Skins debuted on television on the 25th of January 2007. So he would have been like
toddler.
9 months old. Well, 9 months old when Skins debuted. So even then, if you're sort of sitting next to him on the bench, you're like, "Oh, do you remember on Skins?" And he'd be like,
No.
Was that in black and white, Dad?
Anyway, yeah, Euphoria is good, worth a watch. Anyway, I was going to say the second point on this was that I can't think of other Premier League clubs having the 23s and the first team working in tandem in such harmony as they do at Leeds. Like you imagine there to be, and I don't know if this is just my perception, but a massive disconnect between West Ham's 23s, who are running away with that 23 league, and their first team. They're almost a bit of an afterthought.
Well, it's been that way at Leeds, hasn't it, in the past, when Warnock has to go over to, was it Redfern at the time or something?
Have you got any players for me?
I need a right. Who's a right back here? Like, I don't know. I never watch. I've no interest in you. But have you got one? Because I need one. And it's like that's very much not the case now.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody described Thorpe Arch as like an island, and I think they were kind of using it resentfully. That they said it was somebody like a Warnock who was complaining about the sort of the power of the academy and how it was independent, but either way, that was all broken. And it's one of the things when, if you do go back to the original press conference when Bielsa turned up and Radrizzani does the introduction, he's saying that we've brought Marcelo Bielsa in to change the culture of the club, because whatever they'd done in the first year with Christensen and Heckingbottom that ended with Victor Orta screaming at Radrizzani in a London restaurant that this is never going to work and they have to change, had all kind of made it clear to them that however much work they did, they needed somebody like that to come in and change all that stuff, not just make the first team good, but sort the place out from top to bottom. And Luke Ayling, I think Phil Hake's mentioning it because I think he did the interview with him, that Luke Ayling sort of saying, if you're 19, 20 being coached by Marcelo Bielsa, imagine what kind of career you can have built off that. Whereas,
Did he mention that to Cody Drama at all? Or?
Well, that's
that was the subtext, wasn't it, of what Bielsa was saying? I could have turned him into an elite footballer. Could have, not anymore.
Yeah, and with I mean, I think we talk about Drama later, but yeah, he would have been playing in the Premier League on Saturday, but instead he went and lost the game for Cardiff.
Ah, well, let's get back to the clips and West Ham TV.
Yeah, West Ham Fan TV, they were kind of boring last week. They won, and it wasn't a great game. We didn't score, so there's nothing to laugh at. But we did score on this one, and this is Jackie's second. So they've, if you remember the order, they'd not long equalised.
Yeah.
They're starting to get a bit cocky. It's obviously showing, I don't remember, but obviously showed kind of Radrizzani or Kinnear or whoever it was.
It had all three of them sitting in the stand looking quite concerned. They were kind of having an earnest debate with each other. Have you got that midfielder's number? Well, he's not answering.
So we see the development of them seeing that through to the goal.
Oh, beautiful.
Delicious.
Leeds, the Leeds owners. The Leeds owners.
What are you saying now, Leeds owners? Let's be having you.
Let's be having you. Oh!
Please say that's ruled off. Please get no VAR. Please no.
Fucking hell!
Come on, please say there's
Got
something
too
wrong
carried
with
away.
that.
We did again.
Please no. Please say this.
You got carried away again. It's
Let's
goal.
look
It's
for
goal.
handball, offside. Give me, please.
That's goal.
Oh, it's offside! It's offside!
VAR.
Please,
VAR.
please
VAR,
say he's
VAR,
offside.
VAR,
Please,
VAR. Hold on,
Please.
let's have a look. Is it handball?
please. He's off. He's got. Oh, I think Sufa's playing him on.
Yeah.
Please say he's just off. Please, it's his toenail or something. Please. Oh, VAR. Please, West Ham. Just please.
The goal. Oh, we got too carried away. We got too cocky. We did.
Fuck!
We got too carried away.
Fucking hell! We couldn't hold on to that fucking lead just to see that. Oh, fucking bullshit.
Leeds.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
At least they acknowledge the folly of their own confidence and cockiness.
Yeah, and that's the other bad thing about VAR now. It's reduced everyone to that moment after you concede a goal, where going, just be something, because you do it, don't you? You instinctively go, could it have been offside? Could there have been a handball or a push or something? I don't know.
He started singing his tribute to Talking Heads, Psycho Killer, Qu'est-ce que c'est, va 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 va.
Very good.
Never heard that before.
Again, another one for the kids
The
there.
other guy was, the kids love Talking Heads. The other guy was kind of annoying. You don't want somebody going like, no, you calm it down, getting carried away. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a nice time. You get carried away.
This is why,
Leave me alone.
just to go back to a point we've made often, why we will never do watch-alongs, because you say things that your thought processes might be going through. Like, because, when they scored, your automatic thought is, well, surely there's been a push, surely there's a foul in there. And nobody needs to
When he started
hear
screaming
these
that
thoughts
it's
externalised.
screaming that it's offside when it was
wasn't.
never offside.
No.
That's absolute desperation. I think that's the other thing. I know you don't like VAR for the way it spoils goal celebrations, but in this case, this is them kind of using it as a crutch or something to cling to. That every kind of goal, you just got somebody going like, well, VAR's got to find something.
Someone needs to do something about this.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
fair.
And now there is that thing of like the option exists for them, whereas it didn't before, and that's kind of just as bad.
I sometimes got that feeling when someone would score a really good goal against you, and you kind of go, like if someone just like there was the Sheffield Wednesday one where it was Adam Reach volleyed one in from like a ridiculous angle. I remember he scored that, and I sort of went, well, can't someone disallow that? Because that was that can't be right.
What it used to be is you'd look over at the linesman, and as soon as you didn't see a flag, that was it. You then got into the grief stage of dealing with it. Oh, bollocks! Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah. Anyway, let's enjoy the third.
Oh fucking hell! You fucking pricks!
Oh my God!
Fucking Harrison!
Oh!
Fucking twat! Fucking loads of goals in this though, isn't it?
What the fuck was that?
Why do we keep fucking coming back all the time?
Look, it's
That was Diop's fault.
let's see. Diop passes it in the middle to Vlasic. Vlasic has got a man on
Vlasic's
him.
fault.
Let's see, and look at that. It's too simple, man.
Embarrassing.
You didn't even need to play that. Just
Embarrassing.
fucking play the simple ball. Look, straight over, wide open, man. Far Antonio Fabianski comes. That's just a comedy of fucking errors all over. All fucking over. Harrison hat trick. Fuck's sake.
The old famous Shakespearean play. Comedy of fucking errors.
He does. We hear it happening there. Stuart Dallas's role in this goal underrated, and how it's a full Bielsa of nick the ball in midfield just after he's received the pass, give it to Rafinha, give it to Harrison, goal.
Yeah, the timing of that particular bit of pressing was outstanding, wasn't it?
It's great from Dallas. And again, this guy who was telling them that they'd all got carried away, I don't know what he's got this interesting alternative commentary while all these people are screaming around him, because on the other one he's going like, no, we all got carried away, pretending that our owners were Norwich's owners, which was weird. And then on this one, while everybody's losing their mind.
Lots of
Isn't it going, well, look, lots of goals, though, isn't there? Only outside.
Mary Poppins.
I was thinking that when we were playing Man City. When we were playing Man City earlier in the season, I was thinking,
goals in it.
oh, it's good goals.
It's because living in London's so miserable that you've got to find the upside. It's like, oh, he only punched one of my eyes out. He's a good fella. I think he's my friend. So it's
He knows the craze, of course.
Well, it's the lots of goals man he's already been made fairly famous by this last clip, because this is when Bowen chests it over and he turns into a chicken.
Go on, here we go.
Come on,
Here we go.
This is it. Ah! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
That's great.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that clip, if you had to sum up what this show is about in one clip, that is it. So thank you for that.
Even David Moyes went in on Jared Bowen for that. I loved it when his the first question in the post match was, "Could you believe Jared Bowen missed a chance at the end?" And he says, "And you know Bielsa would
Did he go?
We can compare everybody to."
He's coming back. He's coming back.
When you're done, we're all getting carried away. There's absolutely no attempt to defend him whatsoever. I can't see why he would not head it instead of chest it in. I can understand if it's a decision between your feet and head. Sometimes you might decide that, but I cannot see the decision between the chest and your head. But Jared scored a great goal today, and he's done a lot of good things for us.
What I will say, in mitigation for that miss, it did come off Luke Ayling's foot, didn't it? Which changed was it?
I think so.
Oh, I would say Luke Ayling, but anyway, by the by. It came off a foot that changed the trajectory of it. And it all happens so quickly. If you've ever played football and you're playing it at that sort of speed, it can be just enough.
You've got to remember how tired he is as well.
He is a professional, though, and there was loads of time to watch that ball coming down.
Anyway.
I think there's a chance if it had been me, it'd have just smashed me straight in the face and gone in. So that's what he should have. He should if he'd have let it just whack him off the side of his otherwise unaware face, it'd have probably gone in, but it didn't. So that's good.
Right, so let's move on to the post game anyway.
Yep, you say this show's about that last clip, but I think it's also about calling children little pricks.
Fine, one of our favourite pastimes.
So here's one.
We'll see what happens when we get there. Hopefully get our confidence levels up when we get back there. But, losing against these small clubs and then winning against the big ones, there is differences. And I'd rather take 6 points off 2 small teams than 1 big team. So,
oh, that's the FIFA generation, isn't it, right there? What thoughts on that?
It's not his fault, probably. I guess he's mainly grown up with us not in the Premier League.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
big team is not measured by distance from the pitch. Just because you have to sit like 300 yards away from the pitch in the London Stadium does not mean you've got a big team.
Nor does big attendances, which have only happened because you're in the London Stadium.
Yeah, and it's mainly YouTubers who are there, as we established last time.
At least we know that child will be sleeping on a bed of coal.
Bad upbringing.
If he's lucky.
Speaking of bad upbringings, I don't know what's happened in this next clip, but should we just hear it and then react to it, yeah?
I had to get up at 6 o'clock this morning to get a 8:30 train from Telford. That was fucking dire. That was awful. I wish I'd say I'd go home, but my mum's a Leeds fan, so that's not going to be good when I get back fucking out.
How's she allowed that to happen?
It's a good question. Living in Telford, I guess. But where the fuck is Telford?
It's over towards Shrewsbury, isn't it? It's like sort of west of Stoke over towards Wales.
What a mixed up boy.
It's nice. Like Iron Bridge is nice. It's got a nice iron bridge.
That's it.
Yeah. Hence the name.
Yeah.
It's nearby.
Reasonable chance that his mother's listening.
Yep. If you are.
I hope you have mocked him.
Also, getting
all the way to Telford and back again.
I had to get an 8:30 train. 8:30, mate. It's not.
Yeah.
Crack of dawn.
It's not really that early, is it? Wait till you have to get a job.
Wait to get up the old sailors. Yeah, we've got fish delivery.
Down the market.
Yeah.
Right, what's this next one?
This is a guy who's he starts trying to run through the goals to explain how bad they all were, but then he realises he can't.
Let's be honest, Leeds could have had about 5 or 6. I mean, all the goals today, like the save from Fabianski that led to the first. Why aren't we clearing it? You get away with it, clear it. You're giving it straight back to them, they score. The second goal, I didn't see because my fucking glasses were steamed up.
That's great. Fair enough.
Didn't see it. Didn't happen, did it?
On to the next one. This is just... it's good to hear that Leeds fans are ruining the day for people.
I mean, this is it. Again, we talk about clips that this show is about. I think this encapsulates it just nicely.
Not a lot to take out of today. I had a bunch of Leeds fans sitting above me. Don't know what they were doing in the West Stand, winding me up. Every decision that went against us, they were cheering. It's a horrible day.
Perfect.
Ruined my holiday.
Although there were reports of an exposed penis in the Leeds end, weren't there?
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
But I don't think these people were. They were just cheering behind him, which is, in fairness, when I used to be in the East Stand and they used to occasionally get away fans, because towards the back of it, you'd get away fans in the boxes. And it used to really...
That is where I sit. And
it used to annoy me enormously.
We've had a couple of moments this season where you end up turning around a lot, seeing what's going on behind
But when
you.
it's Leeds fans doing it, it's quite funny.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to accept it.
Fair enough. Let's move on to Alex Griffin then, who we've had Alex on before, haven't we?
Last week. He's gone to two... He's a neutral, this lad. He's an Ipswich fan. I don't know if he lives in Ipswich. But if he does, he's travelled from Ipswich to London 2 weekends in a row.
Is it right that West Ham, I don't know the sort of geography of that part of the country, but have they got quite a few fans over towards sort of kind of Essexy way, that kind of
maybe
northeast of London?
To Ipswich, and he's an Ipswich fan.
But I mean, just heading over in that direction, so you could imagine there's a little bit of crossover in terms of like you got Suffolk there, you got Essex, then you kind of got West Ham in London, and
then you've got a bedroom full of Ipswich posters.
And you got a trains into the London,
and you decide to
in
go
the town, as they call it.
There'd be nearer places than West Ham, and cheaper. Like if I can understand the neutral urge of like, I just want to go watch a live football match. I won't go and watch a Premier League game because it costs an absolute fortune. Go watch Cambridge and
go to a game where you can actually see the pitch properly. Like because I didn't look at his stuff from inside the ground, but certainly for the cup game, he was overlooking the roller rink part. He was kind of just next to the Leeds fans, but absolutely awful view.
I don't think anybody who was at the first game was necessarily like enthusiastic about going back to West Ham again a week later, apart from our resident Ipswich fan.
But yeah, so he's desperate to go back again for the same experience.
It's just a closeted Leeds fan, isn't he?
Slightly smaller number of Leeds fans there. But last week we were mocking him for... He was trying to find a West Ham fan. He spoke to a Scum fan.
And those tourists, wasn't
tourists.
it?
But he did find a Leeds fan who might also be a tourist.
Yeah, this is fascinating.
Given this.
Deconstruct this afterwards, bearing in mind we need to hurry through these clips. But what's going on here?
I ask everyone this question. What's your favourite Leeds United chant?
Oh, I think it's got to be, just marching on together. It's
sing it for me.
Yeah, marching on together, we will journey on. We are so proud. We shout it out loud. We love you. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
Enjoy the game.
We will journey on.
We will journey on.
Is it on or home?
Either way is wrong. I don't think it matters. It's sort of an approximation of marching on together. He's got the gist of it right. It's like if you're retelling a story and you'd be like, walking in formation to a place together
for victory.
You get the idea. He's roughly there, isn't he?
As long as you can sing the tune.
Got a Midlands accent as well. Curious.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you'd get to he's not a young person either, so I don't understand how you get to this point and not know that We Will Journey On doesn't feature.
You've got to remember, Marching On Together, Leeds, 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 it's 50 years old, is that song. So maybe if you are a more recent...
was there an early pressing where it was We Will Journey On?
No, but I'm saying you might have heard it loads of times in the stadium and sung along to it, what you think it is. I mean, like my wife sings along to songs on the radio all the time and gets the words wrong. Doesn't appreciate me correcting her either, which is ungrateful.
Or the lies people tell their children about what songs are. Exactly. That We Are Leeds, We Are Vile, David Jones is a crocodile, as someone told his son it was. That was Phil who was... I know he listens. He's been on the Square Ball forum for many years. It's crocodile. Because crocodiles are mean, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It'd be a slander.
Did you see that kid who went to the Chelsea game? Who were they playing? They were I think he was a Spurs fan. And
you know what you did.
You know what you did at Marcus Alonso. 5-year-old girl. It's like, maybe that's one that they don't need to be practicing at home before going.
What did Marcus Alonso do?
Let's not get into it.
It was a road traffic thing.
Wasn't it?
That's all we need to say.
People died in a road
Someone
traffic
died.
accident.
Yes.
So
I'm not entirely sure of what
it doesn't.
He did or didn't do.
What I would say is this: for a podcast that is supposed to be light-hearted in tone, it doesn't feel like a very rich seam to mine. So let's move on from that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fusion Josh, who's another neutral. Weirdly, Fusion Josh and Alex Griffin met outside the ground and they spoke to each other. It was like a weird...
Oh, it was like crossing the streams and Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so these are both kind of neutral fans. We can make reference... Is he a Brighton fan, you thought?
Well, yeah, we heard from Fusion Josh a few weeks ago. I can't remember which game, but he's a Brighton fan who got banned because he was selling tickets.
Excellent.
Yeah, he was banned for selling on tickets, but he used to be a Brighton YouTuber. He had more than 12,000 subscribers at the time. That he then
got into touting.
Done for ticket touting and is banned, so he now has to go to.
Do you even need a ticket tout at Brighton?
I mean, it's a strange old carry on.
But anyway,
now here he is.
He was there. I think they like Leeds games because they like tagging videos with like carnage, limbs, all that sort of stuff. So I think, but they're trying to kind of get the best limbs here. And although this is a clip of when Click's goal goes in and is obviously later disallowed, but the limbs.
Loads of this was doing the rounds massively on Twitter, wasn't it, on Sunday night? But it bears repeating.
Oh, here comes Rafinha. Ball's in. Wow! Oh, fucking hell! Oh my! Oh, the state of this.
There is genuine worry in his voice, isn't there?
Oh no!
I've never seen anything like this at Brighton. Oh dear. Right, TSC 777.
He was sat near Fusion Josh,
right?
Judging by the angles that they were.
I said this before, didn't I, actually? When we were talking about how to develop Ellen Road, was it over on the Extra Ball that we did this? When someone was asking, because I mentioned like a citizenship test almost for learning how to become a Leeds fan, and maybe we put all the tourists into one corner. Maybe this is what they do because they've got so many seats at this daft stadium. Maybe that's what they've done.
They have a YouTube section.
Yeah, are you a YouTuber? Off you go over there.
It's a good idea.
ATC 777 seems to be a flight.
No, TSC.
TSC 777 seems to be a flight from Gatwick to Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's what he's named his channel after.
He doesn't. He sounds very Cockney. This fella.
I've just found him on YouTube. He does Roblox, Minecraft, and Explain 11 as well as
Roblox. You can tell we've got the kids.
Roblox.
It's Roblox.
Roblox,
as in robots.
Well, I'm not going to start calling Rob Conlon when he's in. Kid's name's Rob.
That's interesting. So he goes for sweary football videos and kids games are his niches. Interesting.
Yeah, let's listen to the first one then. He's good value. I mean, I think a lot of this is performative, isn't it? You have to say.
Yeah, this is nice because it didn't come across on the TV because presumably the microphones are pitch side and the people are not. But there's a really nice bit of marching on together going on, which he's booing. He didn't boo taking the knee actually at the start because having heard this, I did go back to the start to see if he did, but he didn't. Yeah. Maybe he just does that when it's on telly. It reminded me of the clip of the man kneeling stood in front of his telly, booing it. But so he just, because you get such a terrible view there, he also gets to do the little cheer when he sees the shot saved.
Ah, bless him. That is one of football's great gifts, isn't it? When like fans of the opposition team cheer something only for like it to then go in your favour.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Which he would have actually been able to enjoy on this because this next clip is of the Click goal, which is, I mean, obviously we know it is disallowed, but he absolutely loses his shit, which is great, and he can never take this back.
Oh, fuck off! Fuck off! You cunt! You fucking prick! You fucking dickhead! Give us some, you fucking cunt!
I mean, we've said before about, like, you know, when we behave outrageously in football stadiums, this is why it doesn't need to be videoed, because we can all get into moments like this, can't we, of sheer frustration and anger. I don't think you probably do, Moscow. You're quite zen generally with football, but I can get a little bit, not that sweary, but
I'm not saying I've never done it, but but you know, if I'd filmed myself doing it, I won't put it on YouTube.
No,
I'd just let it be for the people around me.
I'd like to think if we're trying to rack up hits here on YouTube that we're doing it for the right reasons and not just for mindless swearing. You know what I mean? Anyway,
it's an interesting contrast because I'm giving him a few views at the same time on his Roblox videos. I don't know if he's made this, but it's a pretty good train set that he's got going on. And so it's just like it's showing the people are boarding this train. It looks like it's some kind of. It reminds me.
Get
of the
on,
ones
you pricks!
In the if you remember the Benelux quiz, and I used Benelux trains.
One of those treats for the extra ball subscribers, but
yeah, of course you need a membership for this kind of joyful stuff. Yeah, it looks like it's one of those trains, and it's just setting off from the station. Now you can see the view from the cockpit. I've not got the sound on, so I don't know if he is swearing.
I feel like this is maybe going to be underappreciated by the listener / viewer because they can neither see it nor hear it.
Well, but it's interesting. So to know that that's going on, and I'm currently looking at a view from a slow-moving train at some beautiful countryside. I think we've got another clip of him.
Yes, it's a similar relaxed vibe here. This is right at the end of the game through into the end of his video. So he starts in the stadium, then he's kind of outside the ground still swearing.
You're a fucking piece of shit! Honestly, fucking Melier, I want to fucking kill the cunt. You fucking cunt! We can't keep dropping points to shit teams. Fucking Leeds United, I swear, they're shit.
Not though, are we?
Better than West Ham at the weekend. After he says he's going to kill Melier, if you listen carefully, you can hear a woman next to him go, "Shut up."
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just is under there.
Excellent.
She's obviously been listening to him all game. I don't know if she's with him or it's just is unfortunate to be sat next to him. But yeah, if you listen carefully, you just hear her, "Shut up."
Maybe it's his wife or girlfriend if he's got one. Just shut up. She hears this all the time.
She might be onto the club saying, "Don't sit me in the YouTube section next week."
What's he got against Melier?
I honestly don't understand. He's such a mild-mannered, nice.
Wants to kill him. I think that's we should report him to the police.
Right. Wider world of propaganda. This is where we find out what's going on in the sort of broader football sense. Just what's being said. Basically indulging in other people's misery, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
we'll keep this quite short this week because we've had a good week.
Yeah, so we've had enough West Ham misery, but we'll indulge in a bit of scum misery. The Football Terrace, which is Terry Flewers. I know a while ago we were discussing whether I thought he was a scum fan. You thought he might be Chelsea.
There was a lot of Chelsea on his Twitter when I looked, but then you scroll down far enough, you get, I think he was saying that Cavani to Barcelona was a done deal and all this. It was very strange.
But he is Man United, isn't he?
He is very much Man United. The other week he was saying that he would take Burnley over Leeds in the league because we weren't good enough, despite the league table.
He wanted the division filled with Burnleys, didn't he? Not just one club. It was
give me 20 Burnleys over Leeds. It was weird. Then he spoke to another scum fan who said Bielsa was a fraud. All this sort of stuff. Obviously, they hysterically drew with Villa this week, having been 2 goals to the good, which was funny. But before we get on to his reactions to that,
let's give it context, shall we?
A bit of context. Yeah. Go back to his opening day when they obviously had a good win against us. Let's see how he's feeling after that one.
You imagine that things were all quite good in his
Only
world.
A few months ago, let's remember.
Yeah.
They have drawn a line, though. They have moved the needle. They have said to City and to Chelsea and to Liverpool, this is how good we are this year. There's talent aplenty to arrive in this team as well. And so far, Ollie's done a very good job. It's only one game, so let's us not get carried away. We were more creative. The line was pressed high up. We carried on trying to score goals after taking the lead. We made good substitutions at the right time as well. Excellent choice of teams and lineups. Let's hope that Ollie can do more of that from a Man United fan's point of view.
Very balanced, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they were happy, weren't they?
Good. Yeah, team looks better. This was even before the sign Ronaldo. I mean, obviously,
that's what's to come from this team this year. They had Dan James then back then, and maybe he was the talisman,
possibly. But yeah, you're adding Ronaldo into this mix. It's going to get even better, isn't it? You would think.
Yeah, but that won't make the dressing room toxic at all.
Then we cut ahead to this weekend.
Yep. Okay. So I imagine it's very similar sort of vibes.
This football club delves to lower depths of depravity. This football club lets us down again. I'm being tweeted throughout the game. Look what happens when you drop the British players. Look what happens when Ronaldo's not playing. Look what happens when Maguire's not playing. Look what happens when my favourite players are on the pitch. Fuck you! This football club is finished. It is finished in every single which way and form.
That's quite a turnaround, isn't it? I'm just looking up, actually, depravity.
I mean, the depravity is clearly, since Ronaldo has arrived, has led to that. But what he also obviously doesn't like is people tweeting him during a game when Man United are not doing well. So it'd be a shame if people did that
and reminded him of this.
I think it's Man United fans that he's got, because I think he's people who are saying, oh, well, what you said last week was wrong, and he doesn't like it too much.
Well, should we finish on a high? Because I feel like this is a real high watermark to go out on, his final clip. It's quite performative, I think, and a bit showy-offy for YouTube, but again, people in glass houses and so on and so forth. However, I think you can just sit back and enjoy this one because, well, it's the usual calm, considered, measured, non-depraved response.
Heart! That's for you now! Heart! Passion! Desire! That's what wins you games! Not passing nicely. If you ain't got that, you've got nothing! Nothing! This club has no heart, no soul, nothing! Now I'm waking the kids up. I don't even...
He's waking the kids are not there, are they?
At least he has reached it. At least he has, yes. It was a weekend.
She won't let me see the kids anymore!
But saying Man United have got no heart and no soul is... I feel like he's a bit late to that party.
Yeah.
I don't know which bit of the various, Hong Kong soft drinks partnerships, Nigerian tractor partners, all that sort of stuff that they do has led him to this. But yeah, he has realised, which is nice.
It is interesting to know that when he worked at Barclays, according to his LinkedIn, he says he was responsible for motivating and developing staff to captivate their personal careers and keep the best people who share our company values. And one of his strengths was communicating daily with my area team to ensure a collective and organised workforce by distributing results, best practice and constructive feedback. And I think you can really hear that coming through on his YouTube channel.
Also, to say that being a good team isn't about passing nicely.
Kick the ball harder.
It's kind of partly about passing nicely.
But you've got to do it with passion.
I don't think Man United won all those trophies in the 90s and 90s by not passing nicely. I think that is key.
But Roy Keane was furious every time he passed to somebody. That's the thing. That's what motivated them to win, and I'm sure that's probably what his teams back in the Barclays days never tired of hearing, that they had to pull those spreadsheets. When you're opening a spreadsheet, you've got to believe that you're really opening that spreadsheet.
Doesn't matter where the numbers are. Just fucking open it hard.
Believe in them. Put all your heart into updating that spreadsheet.
That wraps up propaganda for this week. It was an enjoyable one this week. We should win more often, I think. That would definitely that would make this show a little bit easier. But here we are. We will soldier on manfully like we do.
With heart.
And return with more propaganda after Newcastle, and we're going to be recording the weekly show straight after this one, where we will pick heroes and villains and preview that Newcastle game and wrap up all the Leeds United news. We'll see you in a bit.
The Square Ball Podcast.